That is really good. Thank you very much.
When he burst into the political scene in the early 2000s, David Cameron wanted to be seen as a new kind of Conservative, young, liberal and modern. He became leader of the Conservative Party in 2005 and took office as Prime Minister in 2010. But his party didn't win an outright majority in Parliament, forcing Cameron to form a coalition with the Liberal Democrats.
I aim to form a proper and full coalition.
In the wake of the global financial crisis, his government implemented far-reaching austerity measures, including cuts to public spending and controversial welfare cuts, which brought tens of thousands of demonstrators onto the streets.
We will not be able to build a sustainable recovery with long-term growth unless we fix this fundamental problem of excessive government spending and borrowing that undermines our whole economy.
Though Cameron's government is credited for successfully reducing the budget deficit, critics say austerity measures have largely benefited the wealthiest households in the UK and widened the gap between rich and poor. Throughout his premiership, Cameron also faced a number of political challenges. He successfully campaigned against Scotland's independence in 2014.
We want you to stay. Head, heart and soul, we want you to stay.
Against all odds, Cameron's Conservative Party triumphed in the 2015 general elections, securing a comfortable majority in Parliament. But whatever else Cameron has achieved during his 6 years in power, he will be remembered first and foremost as the man who took Britain out of Europe. He was deeply invested in protecting British interests and isolating it from the multiple crises affecting the EU, including the Eurozone crisis and, more recently, the refugee crisis. He first promised to hold a referendum on EU membership in 2013 in an attempt to win over Eurosceptics within his party.
It is time for the British people to have their say. It is time for us to settle this question about Britain and Europe.
It wasn't until 2016, however, after months of negotiations with the EU, that Cameron finally announced a referendum. He said his government would support the Remain camp, but was dealt a severe blow when several prominent members of the Conservative Party, including the former London Mayor Boris Johnson, backed the Leave campaign. Cameron ultimately lost his bet. He leaves Britain economically stronger, but politically and socially fractured.